Hello everyone, thanks for watching. I know MindsEye has received such a bad reputation in the past weeks since its release. I completed the game, earned the Platinum Trophy, and finished some of the post-game content, which this game doesn't really advertise. It's kind of just in the menu, you need to find it. That's all stuff we'll be talking about later in the video, as to why this game feels unpolished and why it's a random assortment of good gameplay patched together. It doesn't feel complete to me, maybe released 6 months to a year early. So today we'll be talking about 10 things I hated and loved about MindsEye. Let's get started. Number one thing I hated was this weapon menu glitch. I brought up the weapon menu right before entering a cutscene. What happens, as you can see, was the weapon menu stayed on screen and I couldn't enjoy the cutscene at all. I ended up quitting the current game, restarting from the beginning. The weapon menu went away. I was able to watch the cutscene. The weapon menu never came back. So I was stuck with using whatever weapon I currently had equipped. I was pretty frustrated, thought the rest of my game is going to be stuck using just this one weapon. It really killed my mood playing. Normally this isn't a big deal with games, usually it fixes itself, but since this game felt unpolished, starting a different mission, restarting the current mission, trying different ways to swap out the weapons in the game, looking at different controls, but of course the final fix was to completely restart the entire game. But with all the word on the street that this game was full of bugs and glitches, I would have been extremely mad though if I had to wait for a next patch to finish the game. I might have just given up and thrown it out the window, stomped on the CD. It shows the lack of testing. A real QA department would have been trying to select different weapons right before a cutscene or a new area and kind of caught this flaw fixed before release.
I'm telling you to go. You're the only one that can
Number
stop
two,
this.
another thing I kind of hated was the gameplay doesn't slow down while you're trying to select the weapon, but I swear most games kind of slow down the gameplay when you're trying to select the weapon on the wheel. I did play Doom: The Dark Ages right before this game, so it could just be recency bias for me, but I swear most games have that ability when it's a weapon wheel. Anyways, nothing like getting shot and killed by enemies while you're trying to swap your weapon. Once again, this minor inconvenience kind of shows the lack of testing, but I feel like if this game was properly tested, this is something they could have provided feedback and should have been fixed. Number three, I also hated the lack of a home base or central area for your character to rest and kind of regain your thoughts of what you experience. So the game story is pretty fast paced. You can complete the story mode in about 8 to 12 hours. And this is because every mission is literally back to back to back to back. But what they really could have done was just made this more of an open world with the option to select the next mission when you're ready. Now, don't get me wrong, there are times when the story mode missions have to be kind of continuous, especially towards the end. Things are kind of climaxing, chain of events happening. Like, what the developers could have done is they could have provided us with maybe like 3 or 4 kind of breaks throughout the main story, where your main character, Jacob Diaz, just spawns at home, and then you're just kind of given the option to explore the city a little bit before tackling the next story mode side mission. Could have put side missions throughout the city that gave us things to do. For example, the side missions could have been the street races, the shootout, like bank robbing escorts, drone flying. There's a couple other like side missions they give us, but like you could have put this in the open world in the city and you kind of given us that option to kind of do it in between like the core of the story mode missions, you know, give us a break, let us explore that. So what that does is it gives you a break from the storyline, so many cutscenes, so much story. If you want to just take a break and kind of get used to the gameplay, it gives the players a chance to work on your skills and kind of perfect your gameplay for later story mode missions. So example, struggling getting used to shooting mechanics in the game, when the storyline takes a break and you can go around the, you know, city and do your free roam and do your side missions, maybe this is a good time for you to go to the shooting range or do one of those shootout missions and kind of work on those skills. It'll train you and make you a better player. And that's kind of what makes games fun, right? You casually work on your skills, you get good at it, and then you apply it when it really counts. You know, same thing applies for driving a car, right? Like, if you're not good at driving this game, you know, when you have the story mode break, you can go to those street races, do those, and work on your driving skills. It makes sense to me. I don't know. Story mode later on, you know, there's missions where you have to chase somebody or you have to follow someone. Oh, what do you know? You're actually good at driving now. You can do the story mode mission without too much of a damn headache. You can practice it, you can be good at it so that the story mode is kind of smooth flowing, natural for you. And you know what else would actually be kind of cool is you would actually kind of get to know the map and the city that they created, right? Like they, you know, the developers created this giant city. It's eccentric, got a lot going on, and they didn't even really give us an option to explore it, the option or ability to explore it. They just kind of throw it out there and then you do your story mode missions and you kind of learn it. I know there's a free roam mode, but we'll talk about that later. I had absolutely no clue where anything was. It wasn't towards the end where I kind of started recognizing things and realizing what was what. All right, so number 4, we're gonna talk about the free roam. Kind of neutral to me. Well, first of all, like I don't know who this character is. It's like a joke just gone wrong. Like it's kind of funny. But like, why wouldn't you just make this an alternate costume? Why can't you just let us play as the main character in free roam? Free roam, it's supposed to be canon, but not really. Or give us some options. Yeah, okay, you can do some things in the city. They don't have to be canon, bro. Like the events and interactions, it doesn't bother us. Like, we're not gonna fucking pick apart this game if we're fucking around in free roam. But this ties into my earlier piece about like the lack of a home base and no major breaks in between the story. Free roam could have fit into that. You can kind of free roam during the story in between missions, but it's not really encouraged and it doesn't feel natural. The structure of this game feels really incomplete to me. It almost seems like you have 3 or 5 different development teams working on what they're working on, and then at the end they just had a date, a deadline, and they just pieced it all together. We had one team just working on the story, one team working on racing missions, one team working on shootout missions, one team takes free roam, one team fucking does cut scenes, and then at the end they were like, hey, let's just fucking put it all together. Hopefully it makes sense and charge $70. Who cares, right? I did do the free roam, fun and extended gameplay that keeps players interested, but I played it for about an hour and a half and I feel like I fucking did it all. There's missions that you can do in the free roam menu that you'll see, and then there's missions that you don't that are exclusive to free roam. So some you can do press start and find, and some are just in free roam. So it's like there's no way of tracking these things. They give you like these scores that are bronze, silver, and gold, and some are tracked, some aren't. It's like, and there's no reward. It's just like a bragging rights. There's not even leaderboards or online boards for you to freaking compare it to. Like, what's the whole point, bro? It's the bragging rights? I don't know. Another reason why I wanted Jacob to kind of be part of free roam is you kind of want the guns that you earned throughout the campaign mission. Stuck with this weird ass character with no equipment, no inventory. I did do free roam for about an hour and a half. I got all the guns and then I quit and I lost them all. So it's like, I just wasn't expecting it to be like that. I thought it was gonna be more like you can save things and progress from there. But it seems like all the guns you can find in free roam are in the same spot, and you just earn them when you're playing, and then when you quit, you lose all your progress. So cool, yeah, something that the developers clearly tested and put a lot of effort and thought into, right? All right, number 5. One thing I actually enjoyed was the car races though. So there's a total of 12 car races that are side mission challenges, 6 that are measured up against checkpoints, and you're kind of racing against yourself to complete the race, and you go through the checkpoints for the time expires. And then there's 6 other ones that are just straight up time trial racing, and you just got to beat the time. Fun. The driving in this game is actually not half bad, minus the weird sporadic behavior that can randomly happen when you hit like a weird curve or obtuse object and your car just goes flying. The driving in this game is pretty fun. You get different viewpoints, you know, and even the flying's halfway decent. The drones, the little mini helicopters, shooting missiles, kind of fun gameplay there. So if you're looking for some post-game content to maybe something enjoy, I would say give the races a chance. The airport one is particularly fun. The military airport, you see the jets, you see the planes flying. A little bit of excitement, a little bit of consistency, a little bit of something that can kind of make you zoom out, you know? Enjoy that part of the game if you haven't uninstalled it already. Number 6, on top of the racing, one of the things I thoroughly enjoyed was the soundtrack, and most of these come from the car racing missions, but I felt like the music really fit the vibe and futuristic mold for this game. You know, when I was playing these races, I did them all in one day, but I kind of got lost, like in a good way. The game soundtrack kept producing good electronic music. I was able to just go through all of them, sit down, play, have fun, lose track of time. You want to just keep playing. You don't want to have come across glitches or weird things that just piss you off. There's plenty of video games that people appreciate the music, and it goes a long way. Like, hey, I'll give the game credit on this. They kind of did good on there. When the music is good, you kind of just enjoy it and ride with it. It sits with you for a while. Music was a pleasant surprise.
I can't connect to the speakers.
Then make your own music.
Number 7, kind of a neutral one, and it's kind of tying a lot of things together, but it would be post-game content. The good thing is that it exists and it's there. The bad part is that it's not really incorporated or advertised in the game any way possible. Like at some point, the game just kind of says, hey, by the way, you could kind of press start on the menu and there's side missions. You can do this anytime. But the story is so straightforward, you don't really think to look at it sometimes. As soon as you're done with the mission, it's kind of almost like another cutscene and another mission starts right away. That's why I was like, hey, maybe they could have incorporated some breaks for us. I do think the post-game content is one of the better aspects of the game. Kind of keeps you away from the storyline that you need to follow. The game really should have tried to push these out to you about, 25% of the way through. This is what bothers me though, but you really need to discover it on your own. I think most people would have finished the storyline, kind of said F this game, uninstalled it immediately, and it's not what they expected at all, right? Part of the marketing and appeal of this game was that it brought over some developers from the GTA world. The gameplay was going to introduce us to side content and open world exploring. I think that was part of the appeal and the sale, like the advertising of this game. And instead, you buy the game, oh hey, by the way, immersive single player experience. Who is doing the marketing? Who's promoting? Like, this all, I'm telling you, it just seems like 3 or 4 different groups of people just put this all together. And a lot of us who might have actually bought this game, I think we were kind of hoping the content outside of the storyline was going to be better than just a single player campaign experience. And this game just kind of failed horribly to incorporate and promote that. I play on PS5, not on Steam or PC, so I don't have access to the mission creator. Right now, all the current side missions are from developers, but I don't know, maybe after a couple updates, this game can kind of turn into a creative, cool experience for the people, for the gamers, with or without mods. But if they can kind of put some more effort into that creative aspect, they can kind of turn the game around, but they feel like it might be too late. I think they've already lost their audience. All right, so we're gonna get into some more positives now. So number 8, another positive is the game has a good variety of missions they throw at you during the campaign. Everything from following a driver without being detected to literally chasing a driver, shootouts, destroying robots, getting ambushed, planting secret computer chips, flying drones. You got to figure out puzzles, defending this rocket launch, tracking down, rescuing a hostage, robbing a safe vault in this dark penthouse. The devs did a good job of mixing up the gameplay to avoid this game being a little too boring on the story. There was a level where you are escorting NPCs and they happen to get stuck, but see, this type of glitch doesn't bother me because this actually takes some high level of coding. You have an NPC character trying to take cover from other enemies trying to shoot. The NPC's trying to avoid gunfire, but he's also trying to progress towards the goal. You have so many different factors right here. The game tried to have the NPC teleport back to the normal location, but it just happened to break itself. Like, this is something I can live with. Some of the other stuff they didn't test, it's pretty obvious. Number 9, the weapon variety is a positive in this game as well. I mean, you have a pistol, you have a Magnum, you have a shotgun, submachine gun, assault rifles, sniper rifles, plasma guns, and even a rocket launcher that doesn't feel too overpowered. It's kind of your reward for the end of the game. It's not that OP because the charging of the weapon balances it out. But I also like that the game doesn't force you to use one weapon or another for certain missions. You can pretty much complete all the different missions and defeat any of the enemies with any of the different weapons that you choose. But it's nice, once you beat the game, you can replay any of your missions with your full arsenal at the end of the game. Turrets on vehicles that are nice, cars exploding are a nice touch. The companion drone's abilities with the taser or the stun gun or the grenade bombs and the hacking of other robots is kind of a nice touch too to the gameplay. So number 10, this is going to be a lot of spoilers, but the storyline was mostly positive. It's kind of weird to me that he has this agenda straight from the beginning, like gifted a job at a high-tech company for doing nothing and just immediately starts doing shady shit. This truth about his origin or whatever, or this robot thing in his ear. The side characters do have some depth to them. Each character kind of fills their role for any main story, right? You have a mentor, you got the rich boss, you got like a direct supervisor who's kind of shady but is actually on your side in the end. You've got the best friend who doesn't want you to get in trouble because of your past. You've got the arch rival. You've got the big bad final enemy boss. You even have a love interest. It's not perfect, but it's a video game story. Not a full-length feature film. Ending, to me, kind of hit the nail on the head for this game, though. Yeah, go ahead and sacrifice yourself, bro. Hell, leave room for some awkward sequel where he can come back. I doubt this game gets a sequel, though. I give them credit for not doing the typical, oh my god, AI has just gained a conscience and is trying to take over the world. Instead, they kind of went with the second most generic option, which is, hey, alien invasion coming here trying to harvest the planet or the humans? Except the alien invasion was our ancestors or the robots' ancestors. I'm not sure. I kind of got lost here. But hey, look, there's a giant beam in the sky. I haven't seen that before in any fucking movie, right? And then, hey, look, there's also mummies? Anyway, kind of weird. But, anyway, some of the other nice touches, like, you get a corrupt mayor with a backstory of killing her husband to get rich, sort of secretly trying to build a sex robot, and it does suck that the love interest kind of dies before anything serious can happen, but this game's kind of full of letdowns. Also, let's just chill on the showcasing of character nipples, please. Nobody asked for that. All right, guys, so we're going to touch on some honorable mentions here towards the end.
Thanks for all your help, Charlie. Couldn't have done it without you.
One thing, as I scrolled through the footage, I saw these weird frames of the characters' faces being misplaced. It's just hella creepy and weird looking, especially when you're not expecting it. And I'm over here trying to edit videos late at night And I come across this and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, it's not positive or negative, just something I wanted to share for a good creepy laugh. I wanted you to look at it and enjoy it. Another thing is the mini games they provided us. It's kind of like this weird Minecraft wannabe game and this weird Minesweeper game. Kind of fun things to do outside the story. Distracted me for a couple minutes. You know, it's nice, and I appreciate developers took their time and put this into the game, even though they probably should have been focusing more on critical details like the actual gameplay of the game. But one thing I disliked was the constant barrage of Jacob Diaz moan faces that happened throughout the story. I get it, he's in pain and we need to kind of see and feel his agony, but goodness, like the story mode just needs to chill on showing him, you know, it's like, enough is enough, bro. We get it. This guy's supposed to be this tough military soldier trying to make it seem like he's really in pain. I don't know. Vehicle variety was great too. The good part is that you can kind of drive them all in different types of cars. Each car kind of has its own feel to it, right? Like armored truck here. But the bad part is it's not actually like available. Like I kind of found a way to cheese it. There's one mission where you can kind of grab all the different vehicles, and the side missions just kind of have their weird different vehicles that you can drive. They have all these cars. It should have been available in free roam. It's not. You're stuck with this fucking stupid like Hyundai Miata or whatever the hell this small car is. Look at this food menu, bro. It's like incredibly detailed. Like who put this much effort into the menu, bro? Like duck breast, pan roasted wild sea bass with caviar and parsnip fondant, carbonara spaghetti, pancetta with parmesan, eggs, and sea salt, dry aged New York strip with truffle potato spring greens, miso king oyster mushroom, and compound butter. The prices for this are just completely inaccurate though, so especially if this game takes place in the future. But the menu looks good, and just someone just fucked up on the prices big time.
Hold on! I need to talk to him.
To get him to a hospital.
He will when I'm done with him. Who's your contact?
Need that to breathe.
I don't know.
His oxygen levels are dropping.
They call themselves Robin Hood and Little John.
Did you really have to name a character Little John? Is this like an intentional joke of what you think your game is? Like, what were you even thinking when you decided to do this? Game knew it was a joke, so they put the character named Little John in it for you, right? Fuck, bro. To the window! All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Hope you stayed for the whole video. Always appreciate the support on my channel. Have a good day. If you see this game on sale for like $25, $30, I would recommend giving it a try. Thank you. Take it easy.
We need a medical team to the locker room immediately.
I got this.
He's gone, Diaz. You can stop now.